Heat 5, Martin Sproat in pole position for Playscape players. Perhaps a great opportunity for Carl Parkin for 3 legs on grid 2 to improve his 3rd place from Heat 2. Colin Peacock carries our camera gain on grid 10, along with Connor Lucas for Teesside Tigers on grid 6. And he's got Birmingham Wheels' Bradley Philpott hard on his bumper. So Martin Sproat controls the pace to the start line. We're waiting for the green flag. It's at the ready and we're racing down to turn 1 in Heat 5. And it's 4 wide into turn 1, Parkin trying to go around the outside, but it's Sproat with the inside line into the S's, and he leads from Danny Paxman for Lakeside Lions and Steve Ayres for Team Sport. Hauling it up into hairpin 1, Paxman a bit sideways going in, Connor Lucas rubbing side pods with Cameron Ritchie from Loopy Pistons leads. Onto the back straight for the first time, and Lucas has got Cosley Cougars, John Payton on his bumper. Carl Parkin going through to 3rd. So 3 legs up to 3rd, Team Sport down to 4th. Sproat able to pull out a couple of kart lengths on Danny Paxman. Bobby Conway in the blue looking down the inside, and he goes through on Steve Ayres. And Cameron Ritchie still trying to find a way past Connor Lucas for Teesside Tigers. Over start finish, it's Playscape players ahead of Lakeside Lions. 3 legs, Carl Parkin closing in on Danny Paxman. Team Sport under pressure from Bobby Conway and Brentwood Bandits. Down to the hairpin, Parkin ducking inside of Danny Paxman, and he's through to 2nd. Paxman looking up the inside though, he's going to have to go in narrow. He goes in narrow, he'll slow off the corner. He's cleverly shown Parkin the outside, and this gives Steve Ayres the momentum run down a South Bank bend. Team Sport moving back through to 2nd place ahead of Lakeside Lions. Parkin on the outside, he's isolated, he's lost out to Bobby Conway for Brentwood Bandits, and Philpott's able to go up the inside in a hairpin 3. Paxman looking to go back into 2nd. What a great start to Heat 5. And Bradley Philpott is moving Birmingham Wheels through and past Lakeside Lions over start finish. Conway looking to the inside of turn 1. Philpott doesn't know where to look next, but he's through and up to 3rd. Parkin coming back at Conway, and he slides into 4th place through the S's, getting a run. Here comes Carl Parkin down the inside in a hairpin 1. He can't get it done, and Philpott hangs on. Connor Lucas for Teesside Tigers getting a good run out of hairpin 2. Has he got the momentum to carry him past Danny Paxman for Lakeside Lions as they go into the big bend? He's up the inside. Nothing that Paxman can do now. Looking on from Colin Peacock in 9th place for Stockton Sprinters. Not close enough to take advantage to follow Lucas through. Off the gas, he's feeding in the throttle. Not the fastest way, and he's looking over his shoulder at John Payton for Cosley Cougars. He's gone defensive. Look who's closing in. It's Daniel Gardner for Teesside Angry Birds. She's over the curb, and there was contact with Peacock. And Danny Harwood from Pontefract Punishers, the winner of Heat 2, is through to 9th place. So Peacock looking at the back of Daniel Gardner. Further forward, Carl Parkin has run down Steve Ayres once again in Team Sport. He's looking for 3rd place, getting a run through South Bank Bend. He's up the inside and he's through. Wide line out, covers any counter-attack from Ayres. Looks as though Lucas got a bit of a love tap from behind. He's on the bumper of Bobby Conway and Brentwood Bandits. Well, you can see who it is. It's Elite Karts. Sam White as Bradley Philpott moves through to the lead. Lucas still can't get past Conway. I saw Danny Harwood coming down the inside. Oh, heavy contact. Harwood is through. It's a bit of a mess, but Harwood is straight through Connor Lucas and Bobby Conway and up to 5th place. And Daniel Garner doesn't want to lose touch with the Pontefract Punisher. Carl Parkin moves 3 legs through to 2nd place and demotes Martin Sproat to 3rd. Danny Harwood down the inside already of Steve Ayres into hairpin 3. And he's through to 4th place now. Ayres coming straight back at Conway. Oh, he shuffles him out the side. And Daniel Gardner goes through on the cheap. Connor Lucas trying to get a run round Bobby Conway. Still can't get it done. Teesside Angry Birds in 5th then. Brentwood Bandits 6th. Teesside Tigers. Steve Ayres under pressure from Sam White in Elite Karts. Through the S's again. And back on board with Colin Peacock in 10th place. He's got Tim Knox from the Throttle Warriors closing in behind. Tipping in a hairpin too. Here comes Knox down the inside. Shows Peacock the outside. Takes a look over his shoulder. Tries to decide if he's got the momentum that Danny Harwood has got on Martin Sproat. He's inside. It may not look over yet, but I can tell you that it is. Danny Harwood moves through to third place. Martin Sproat's time in the spotlight appears to be ending. Peacock down the inside of Knox, and he saw him coming. Gave him room and gets him back on the exit. Peacock stays in 10th. Danny Paxman closing in for Lakeside Lines, trying to get a run, and here comes Daniel Gardner moving through and up to third. Peacock gets the position back from Knox, and here comes Cosley Cougars, John Payton coming through. So Knox with work to do for the Throttle Warriors. Down in 12th, his steady progress brought to a halt, but he's straight up the inside of Payton. Half a car width is what he saw, and he went for it, and he's got it. Knox back to 11th. Danny Harwood looking for second place. In the same way he did Sproat, his wheels inside of Carl Parkin, runs him out wide, and Daniel Gardner jumps in once again. So Gardner up to third. So Harwood and Daniel Gardner back together, partners in crime, and now they're off to run down Bradley Philpott for Birmingham Wheels. Harwood goes now to hold off Gardner. He misses his apex, and Gardner's through for Teesside Angry Birds with a great move into turn 1. Harwood will look to line her up for hairpin 1, not close enough. Gardner goes half a car with narrow to hold him off. Knox again in on Colin Peacock, and this time he's through to 10th. So Danny Harwood trying to line up Daniel Gardner for Teesside Angry Birds. Pontefract Punishers looking for a second win here. Not close enough for hairpin 4. Bobby Conway still managing to hold off Connor Lucas for Teesside Tigers. Lucas showing the outside, it won't work. He stays in 7th place. Harwood looking for a way past Daniel Gardner. Into the S's. He's moving in. Is he going to strike down a hairpin 1? Not quite close enough. Here comes Lucas again, and this time he's got it done. He's going to run Bobby Conway out wide, who's coming back at him up the inside. And Lucas is struggling to pick up the throttle. And Conway's coming down the inside. Lucas goes narrow, but it's too late. Bobby Conway back in 6th place. And look at this. Philpott has been run down by Gardner and Harwood wants first shot at the lead. He goes in and through. It's side by side off the corner. Lucas has got problems of his own. He's got Steve Ayres on his bumper. So on to the final lap. Philpott going narrow. Gardner on his bumper. Harwood's going to sweep in from underneath. And here he comes round the inside. And he's through to second. And he's closing in on Philpott through the S's. He's going to throw it up the inside. He's coming from a long way back, and he's down the inside. Danny Harwood and Pontefract Punishers in the lead. And Bradley Philpott's down to second, and he's lost his momentum off hairpin 2. Here comes Daniel Gardner. There's nothing that Philpott can do about it. He's got 2 corners to the finish and a chance to get second, but I think Harwood's gone. Daniel Gardner closing in on Danny Harwood, who's gone narrow in a hairpin 3. That was a bit conservative. He's narrow in a hairpin 4. Gardner's got one more chance. It's a drag race to the line, but Danny Harwood's going to have his second win of the Elite Karting League. Well, after a particularly entertaining tear-up, I think it's worth hearing from Pontefract's head Punisher-in-Chief again, Danny Harwood.
Well, a real battle again, and of course a lot of changing of places. So take us through that particular very close race.
Yeah, it was a very good race. Started at the back again. Got a fairly good start, not as good as last time, so I had to do a lot more work to get back to the front. And the girl who finished in second were rather fast, probably about the same speed as me. So it was all about who could pull the race off and win it, really.